Brian, will you marry me?
I did.
Oh, will you marry me again?
I did that too.
Oh.
Welcome to Crocs in the Kitchen.
I'm Jessica.
And I am Brian.
So we have been teasing for a while now that we did something really cool in Las Vegas last November, and we're finally here to share it with you. I'm so excited. So what did we actually do, Brian?
We renewed our vows on our 10-year wedding anniversary.
Yay! It was November 5th, 2011 when we got married. So November 5th, 2021.
Yep.
We went out to Vegas, and we didn't do just any kind of, standard vow renewal. We did the full-on cheesy Las Vegas wedding chapel vow renewal, including Elvis himself. Obviously, he was there, and he walked me down the aisle singing none other than Teddy Bear while I held Peef.
Yes, unfortunately we can't play the songs because they are copyrighted, but we can talk over it while it is happening.
You can imagine what's going on.
Yes, if you want, just go get a copy of Elvis singing Teddy Bear and play it while this is happening, and it's almost identical.
Yes.
So I've been talking about doing a vow renewal in Las Vegas for years. Probably like very early on in our marriage, I was like, yeah, when we hit 10 years, we're doing it Vegas style. And so that's exactly what we did. It was sort of a great thing for us because we got to go and be sort of glitzy, if you notice, in our
gold
dress and gold tuxedo, and even Peef was wearing gold.
Peef had a gold tuxedo, you guys. Come on.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, so we really did it up for this one, and I was so happy that we got to do it.
Yes. And we also got to bring along some family and friends. We actually had the matron of honor who was in our wedding, and the best man, and one of my bridesmaids actually lives in Vegas, so she was able to come with her husband, and Brian's parents came, and it was just a super fun little small kind of intimate group of people celebrating our 10th anniversary, and it was a blast.
Thank you very much. You're a fantastic bride and groom. Thank you very much.
Okay, Brian and Jessica, we're all here to celebrate your 10 years of joy and happiness together, and we'd like to wish you many more years of joy and happiness. And as you both know, I'm sure, marriage is intended to be a joyous occasion. However, marriage is not to be entered into lightly, but reverently and discreetly. You will also know that true marriage is more than a positive marriage between two individuals. It's the union of two hearts.
Now, we almost didn't make it through the ceremony because Elvis was kind of like, he had his eye out for me. He really,
Yeah, he was a frisky Elvis.
It was so much fun, though. Just, I feel like he brought the life to the ceremony, because I feel like if we didn't have him, it would have just been, 5 minutes of us just okay. But, yeah, he was joking around. He was trying to steal me from Brian and, all the funny kind of stuff. It was hilarious.
Yeah, as far as Elvis goes, he was fantastic. He was just entirely entertaining, and hey, if we ever did it again, I'd hire Elvis to sing at our wedding for our 20th. Now, you may be wondering, why Las Vegas? Well, for a lot of reasons. One, Las Vegas is actually very special to us. When we first, in our early years of our marriage, we ended up going to Las Vegas for the Life is Beautiful music festival. It's a music and art festival. They had a bunch of food and stuff there, like cooking demonstrations.
Yeah, they even had celebrity chefs and Food Network stars and people like that there.
Yeah, it was really cool. So we went there, and then we ended up going for the next 6-7 years or so straight. So we spent a lot of time in Las Vegas, and we used that as sort of a great jumping off point for a bunch of other adventures that we went on, like going to Seattle and Vancouver, and going
Grand Canyon,
Salt Lake City, and Denver, Colorado. We went to a bunch of different places just after flying to Vegas. And so Vegas became a really, really great thing for us, despite the fact that we're not typically Vegas people.
Yeah, we're not party people. We don't drink at all. Brian doesn't gamble at all. I like a slot machine here and there. But Brian, we're not your Vegas kind of couple, but they have a lot of really fun things to do. Vegas is not just the Strip. There's so much else outside of the Strip to do, and we had a blast on this trip. We did a ton of stuff. We ended up actually driving over to Death Valley for a couple of days, and it was just so much fun to be back in Vegas after it's been a few years since we had been, and really celebrate this occasion.
Face one another and join hands, please. Brian, do you once again take Jessica to be your lawfully wedded wife, promising to love her and cherish her through joy and sorrow, sickness and health, and whatever challenges you may face for as long as you both shall live. If so, say I do.
I do.
All right, Jessica, do you once again take Brian to be your lawfully wedded husband, promising to love him and cherish him through joy and sorrow, sickness and health, and whatever challenges you may face for as long as you both shall live? If so, say I do.
I do.
All right. While you're still together there, Brian, please repeat after me. Jessica,
Jessica,
I give you my heart,
I give you my heart,
and I give you all that I am.
and I give you all that I am.
And I accept from you
And I accept from you
all that you are.
all that you are.
And Jessica, please repeat after me. Brian,
Brian,
I give you my heart,
I give you my heart
as I give you all that I am.
as I give you all that I am.
And I accept from you.
And what?
And I
Accept from
and
you.
I accept you.
And I accept you,
Accept from you.
except from you.
All that you are.
I accept from you all that you are. So Brian, despite me nagging him, did not actually write any vows of any sort. So let's see what he has to say.
I understand you have your own vows, Brian.
Yeah,
So if you'd like to say a few words, go ahead.
just go and wing it.
Oh, great.
You know I don't take vows lightly. They're very serious things to me. And I know that 10 years ago I promised to love and honor you. And I don't know if obey was listed in that one. And I'm pretty sure I haven't followed that one at all. But I have strived to love and honor you every single day that we've been together. You are my absolute best friend, even above him over there. Which, you know.
Sorry, Gary.
But
Sorry, Gary.
you are my travel buddy. You are my music friend. You are the one person that I always want to go to concerts with, and I can't wait to live the rest of my life with you.
So I actually did write vows, but like in the whole mumble jumble of the whole thing and all the excitement, I didn't have my like thing with me, my phone that I had written it onto. So I kind of just had to come up with something on the spot. I was a little bit nervous because I was like, oh, what am I going to say? But I feel like in these cases, you just kind of speak from the heart and it just kind of all works out. So let's see what I came up with. Okay.
All right, Jessica.
Beat that.
Now I have to talk. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Brian, obviously we've been married for 10 years now, and you have been my rock. You've been the calm to my storm, which I'm kind of a storm a lot of times. I know we've been through a lot of really like good times. We've been through a lot of lows. I've had a lot of the lowest days of my life, and you've been by my side throughout all those days, and I'm not gonna cry.
Don't cry.
I wouldn't want anybody else there with me. You are my everything. You are my favorite. You are my silly bee. You are the man that I want to live the rest of my life with, and I am super pumped that we're doing this in Vegas, and we're in the chapel that, you know, obviously Chevy Chase and Beverly D'Angelo professed their love in Vegas Vacation. But I know this is goofy to some people, but it means the world to me that we are here today committing to each other once again after 10 years. And I love you forever, and you'll always be my favorite.
And she was worried about coming up with words.
I mean, I do talk a lot.
All right, Brian and Jessica, in the coming years together, should this loving union never be tested with discord or unrest, you'll remember this day the heartfelt vows you've expressed to each other, as well as the everlasting love and devotion you have for one another. And now, by the legal authority vested in me by the state of Nevada, it is my pleasure to once again pronounce you husband and wife, legally and lawfully wedded. You may kiss the bride.
So you guys, I am a huge fan of the National Lampoon's Vacation movies, and this chapel that we selected, Chapel of the Bells, to do the ceremony is the one that Clark and Ellen Griswold in Vegas Vacation renewed their vows. I think it was like their 25th anniversary after like Clark almost lost all their money and then they like won it back and all this. Wayne Newton was trying to steal Ellen and like it was a whole big thing. But yes, this is where they renewed their vows. So I was super stoked to do it here.
Yeah, I was just really hoping that somebody in the background for our thing would just yell out, "You ruined my life!"
I really just wanted like somebody to start crying. Like, is it Kathy? Yeah, the cousin. Like, she's just like like the entire time, but you know, it's fine. But I do love how you can see our friends and family in their like Elvis shades and their masks. It looks so creepy back there. It's perfect. It actually worked out perfect because, you know, I don't know, they may not want to be on our video, but like now they're kind of like all concealed in the background. But yes, Elvis sang us another song. He sang Can't Help Falling in Love with You. He sang 3 songs throughout the ceremony and it was just a blast. But you guys may be wondering, it's like, why did you feel like you needed to renew your vows? I think like even my mom was asking me, she's like, what do you mean you're renewing your vows? Like, what's the, I feel like after 10 years of marriage, we just, you know, we've been through so much together, and even just this adventure, sorry, I was about to say journey that we're on, it's just the ups and downs, and I think our marriage has actually gotten so much stronger in the last few years. And so for me, it was just, you know, it was just to celebrate the fact that we made it to 10 years, but also just to celebrate like our marriage and our love for each other and our commitment to each other that is ongoing. And obviously, like, we didn't need to recommit to that, but it was just fun and it just made sense at this point in our marriage.
So back in 2011, when Jessica and I got married, I requested that my dad sing a very particular song. And I believe it's called Any Way You Want Me by Elvis. It's one of my favorite songs from Elvis, but the thing is, I've always loved my dad's version of it. So when we were doing this, I asked my dad if he would sing it again. The first time he did it on guitar. This time he did it on a ukulele. And so it was a lot of fun to actually have him up there. He also impressed Elvis as well with his rendition of it. But it was such a nice, touching moment because I got to experience that again, like one more time with me and Jessica standing up there doing this whole vow renewal.
And Peef was even sitting in the front row, you guys, throughout the wedding. So it's cool. He was there in his gold suit sitting there by our sides.
Good job. Give him a hand, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Good job. Hey, you got to walk your bride down the aisle. Give him a hand, everybody. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Jessica and Brian have left the building. Thank you and good night. This is Elvis tribute artist Joy Franklin with my friend Adam saying thank you.
And God bless.
Thank you very much.
So there you have it. One vow renewal on a 10-year wedding anniversary in Las Vegas with Elvis in person. I mean, I'm pretty sure it wasn't actually Elvis, but
It wasn't?
it's fine. It's okay. It's okay. But yeah, everything about this trip was fantastic. I mean, we had so much fun with our friends and family. But one of the best parts, though, as you guys well know, is that we obviously do love food. But in Las Vegas, there is one very, very special place that we really like to go to, and that is Panavino.
Yes. Now, they actually have a specific plant-based menu, and they have all these plant-based menu items, but they're not only plant-based, many of the plant-based ones are actually oil-free. Who is it? The maitre d'? Is that
Yes, the maitre d'.
He is, I don't know how to say that. I don't know what a maitre d' is.
It's fine.
Anyway, the guy at the restaurant, he is, what's his name? His name is like Vincent Vincenzo. I don't know.
Yes. I don't know. I've got his card somewhere.
He's
so
Italian, right?
I believe so.
I don't know.
Yes, but he's
very passionate about plant-based, and so he actually has put these really cool menu items together, and we got every single vegan item on the menu between Brian and I.
I'm not joking.
While our family like sat around at this, we had this huge table, and it was like us on one side and them all on the other side eating their meals, and we just ate like course after course but it was the most amazing vegan food. Seriously, you guys, it was so good. I didn't take any pictures except for this one of the dessert that they gave us, which I think was like a vegan chocolate gelato. But if you're in Vegas, definitely check out Panavino. Like oil-free vegan. Hello.
Yeah. One of the other great things too that we did in Vegas this time around was that, if you guys didn't know, Jessica loves Camaros, specifically black Camaros. And when you get one that's a convertible as well, you can just have yourself a party.
Yes, so you can see the photos of us in front of the chapel in our black Camaro convertible, and just and in the movie, if you guys are the movie Vegas Vacation, at the end they all pull out of that literal parking lot. Like that's actually the parking lot.
Yep.
Where they had like the 4 cars that Rusty won like lined up, and they drive out. So the only thing we could have done better is if we had like 4 cars that we could have like pulled out like, and then like got on the highway and done like the whole, never mind. Okay. Anyway, but yeah.
It was nighttime, mind you.
Well, yeah. And we had to put the top up because my hair would get messed up. So, it was fine. We also took a stop after dinner. We actually took a stop over to the Vegas sign and got pictures of us with the sign. Some really nice lady helped us get some good lighting going in the pictures. And earlier in the day, we had actually taken Peef there with his gold suit to get him pictures with the signs, because we knew like later in the evening it was going to get a little chaotic and I had to get these photos. Anyway, so we have a bunch of photos from the ceremony, so we're going to kind of show you a little bit here of the photos we got outside the chapel and inside the chapel. It was just a blast wearing these. I felt so like walking through the hotel and stuff like that in our gold outfits, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, congratulations. Da, da, da. It's like, I just felt so glitzy, and I don't know, it was nice.
I mean, you feel kind of special when you're walking around in a gold tuxedo. I mean, that's just how it is.
Yes.
But it was, we keep saying it, it was just so much fun. It was just so much fun to hang out with friends and family, do this fun little party. And not only that, I mean, the entire trip in and of itself was just a blast.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to spend more time with Gary than I have like in like the last many years. And so I was having a great time hanging out with my friend, best friend, next to you, obviously. But we also did one final thing while we were in Las Vegas.
So my birthday is November 8th, so 3 days later. So we're at breakfast. So we had talked about doing something special to commemorate the whole occasion. And we were at breakfast on the morning of my birthday. And Brian's on his phone and he's like, I don't know how to say it.
So let me preface this by saying, originally I was thinking about getting a ring tattoo. And as you can see, I do not have a ring tattoo.
No.
But we did find a place to get a tattoo. And so that's exactly what we did.
So I kind of talked us out of the ring tattoos because looking up, like hand tattoos in general, I know they can fade because you wash your hands so much, but they can also, like, the ink can blow out. And it's both of our first tattoos, and I was like really nervous about it. But then in the moment, the spur of the moment at the tattoo place, I was like, what if we did this? And so that's what we ended up doing. So mine is here on my arm.
Mine's right
and
there.
His right there, and they both match. And we'll show you some closer up pictures of actually what it is.
My tattoo.
Oh, sorry.
How dare you.
Brian got his in like a hidden nice little
not hidden. I just wanted it
spot
right there.
Mine is like out here. Like it's pretty big too. Like it ain't small.
It says, I never want to land.
Yes, it says I never want to land, and then it has 11/5/11 for the our wedding date, obviously of our original wedding. And I Never Want to Land is the first line of a song by Glenn Hansard. Well,
The Frames.
The Frames. Glenn Hansard, if you know Glenn Hansard is, his band, The Frames, Irish band. A song called Headlong, which was the song that we danced at our wedding, our first song, and it's like kind of been all our special
It's
song.
like our song,
yeah.
You know?
So it's like, well, I never want to land
So,
because I'm high on you beyond
Wow.
all. I can't sing.
Wow. just going for it.
I'm
So-
trying to sing like Glenn. Go
It's-
listen to Headlong by
Yeah.
The Frames and you'll know.
Yes.
It's a beautiful song. It
Beautiful
just
song.
builds and like, yeah, it's beautiful.
But so we got the tattoos, and even to this day, I will still like sometimes like lift up my sleeve and be like, oh yeah, I actually did that, didn't I?
Yeah, it looks
So
cute.
yeah, you know, it's like it's not too shabby as far as like a good tattoo goes.
So while we were doing it, so my arm's like this and the guy's doing it and like it didn't hurt. Everyone asked the first question is, did it hurt? It didn't actually hurt. It was just I looked down and you don't want to see the needle going into you in the like no. If you're me, no. And I almost fainted because I was like it was a combination of like oh my gosh, what am I doing? First of all, like what is even happening? And just like the side of the needle. So about halfway through, Brian had to go get me like a soda because I was like, the guy's like, get her something to drink. Like I was like seriously getting lightheaded.
Yeah.
But other than that, like we made it through. Our healing was fine. Like they look really great. They've whatever. But yeah, we did it.
Yep. and that's it. That's basically what we did in Vegas. We had a great time. We ate some really great food.
Yeah, we ate
fun with
vegan the
friends and
entire
family.
time that we were there.
Yes, we
and
did.
there's so much vegan food. And even like
Tons.
like some of it, of course, vegan junk food, but there's also, healthy options there. And there's just so much, like, it was so good. My favorite, besides Panavino, was actually we went to Sinatra at the Wynn
Mhm.
and had their vegan menu. And it was like, this is super expensive. This was for my birthday. It
Yes.
was like, what, and Brian got dressed up in his gold tuxedo again for this because I was like, we rented this thing, like we're you're wearing it again. So he got in that and I had another dress I was wearing, and so we got all dressed, gussied up, and went and had this really fancy vegan meal. And it was so nice to be able to go somewhere and have a vegan meal at like an upscale restaurant. And like we can't do that in St. Louis. Like
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few maybe kind of fancy, but not like nothing like that. So it was super cool, and we had just a total blast. And yes, I'm just like, I just have warm and fuzzy memories every time I think about it.
Yep, absolutely. But I think that's pretty much it for this one, right?
Yes.
Yes, so please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Click that like button and share this one out if you want to share it out to people. I don't know why necessarily you would share it out to people, but maybe somebody else wants to see what a Vegas style wedding
renewal,
was
yeah.
type thing looks like. You can find us on social media, Facebook and Instagram. You can message us on there. You can, send us posts or whatever, happens to be in your mind at the time, because that's just who we are. We like to interact with you guys, and it's always fun for us. But yeah, I think that's it.
That's definitely all I got.
We will see you next time on Crocs in the Kitchen. Bye.
Bye.